the open qualifiers, and competitive integrity. So the open qualifiers, I believe, were introduced back for TI5 to give anyone a chance to prove that they were the best and to have a chance at competing at a Valve event without directly being invited. So that's the open part of the qualifiers. And as always with any Valve event, with any qualifier event, it has its own share of drama. But the most recent NA qualifier has given us a little more food for thought past the usual admin controversies. So, Team Vegetable Esports Club, or Veggies, is the easier way to refer to them, has been competing in the last several qualifiers, not just for Valve events. They did a Summit one once as well. And they do it for fun. People love watching them. It adds a pretty different element to the opens, and it's certainly an unpopular opinion to criticize what they're doing. But recent events do raise a lot of questions. So this season especially was a little more of a unique situation. The splitting of the two regions between North America and South America means that there's a lot less teams in the North American regional qualifier than normal. And then additionally, usually open qualifiers, only one team is taken. But in this case, since so few teams were invited to regionals and then actually two of the teams had to drop out of regionals, there are a lot of open qualifier spots up for grabs from NA. And for the first time, I think because of a lot of these different factors, Veggies were in a position to win the qualifiers. They made it to the final round. They played incredibly well. They were pretty much fountain diving their enemy wheel wreck while whistling before they called GG to avoid actually winning the series, which you will see in this clip here.
They gone too far? No, I don't think so. They are going to GG out because at the end of the day, Veggies Esports Club are not going to be in the qualifiers. They are going to concede. It had to happen. It had to happen. So, my dishonor too great. Terp terp. That's really sad. So again, for anybody that's wondering what happened there, they were going to play until it looked like they were going to win, and then they were going to be out. So Veggie Esports Club, they earned the spot at the major, but they're going to give it away to Wheel. I can't even remember the name at this point. So that's what ends up happening at the end. I think that it's probably for the best. They have to cast the qualifiers. They're casters. They know that it's not going to end up. They know it's not going to end up being them getting out of the regionals. So it still put on a good show. That was great.
So, what exactly is the issue here? They essentially did the right thing. They knew with their casting schedule they couldn't play in regionals and that their slot should belong to their opponents. Wheel wreck while whistling, or I'm going to go with wheel. A team actually hoping to distinguish themselves in the regionals and fight to make it to the Kiev Major as a team of players with playing being their main occupation. So there's two main issues here that really come up from this. The first is that while this is a very harsh term, this is clearly match fixing. Upon entering the qualifiers, Veggies knew they would not be playing in the regionals no matter what. So if they make it to the finals, they're guaranteed to have to throw, forfeit, give up, whatever. That game is fixed from the start. So like I said, this is a pretty harsh way to put it, but it's technically accurate. Valve has previously responded pretty harshly to match fixing. If we were going back to, I think this is the most recent incident, it's the one that came to mind. The match fixing was suspected in this Pro Dota Cup. There was a match between Infamous and Elite Wolves. It was a third place decider match where the team that won would get $500 and the team that lost and got fourth place would get nothing. Now, what happened is that Elite Wolves were very heavily favored to win this game, but Infamous ended up taking it and winning $500, and Elite Wolves got nothing. Now, the controversy with this is that a very suspected, fishy, if you want to call it, $3,000 bet was placed on Infamous to win before the match, and investigation into this incident led to a one-line email from Valve to Smash and Mystico, informing them that they were banned from participating in Valve events, probably due to this or because of this match fixing incident. So the responses to this are very harsh. And while the situation with Veggies is of course less sinister because they were really doing the correct thing by giving a team that actually wanted to spot the spot, it still happened. And it shouldn't be up to Veggies to play Valve and decide who gets a regional spot. Now, there's also another issue to consider in regards to conflict of interest here, which ties into why the matches themselves needed to be fixed. So a conflict of interest is a situation in which the concerns or aims of two different parties are incompatible. So there's a couple of those here with the Veggies situation. First of all, the point of a tournament is to win it. Entering a tournament with the specific intention not to win it is a clear conflict of interest between the team that doesn't want to win and the organizer / the tournament itself. So Knoxville states this rather well and succinctly. Teams should not enter events they don't actually want to win. So there's our first conflict. So I can see that point being a little muddy because of course they wanted to win. They wanted to prove that they were the best. They wanted to prove that they could do it. But they couldn't actually win because of a second conflict, a conflict with their schedules. So we take a look at the Veggies roster. You've got Merlini, CCNC, Capitalist, Franz, and Blitz. Well, let's take a look at the talent contracted to cover the main qualifiers. You'll notice Merlini, Capitalist, and CCNC happen to be on that list and are unable to play in regionals because they will be casting regionals. So there's a clear scheduling conflict here. And then, of course, if you look at Blitz, he's the coach for Digital Chaos, a team that will be participating in the main event. Now, presumably, he's under some kind of contract with the team and is probably not allowed to directly compete against them. So should he theoretically qualify for the Kiev Major, which is the purpose of playing through open qualifiers, he really wouldn't be eligible. So there's some clear conflicts there. And then Team Wanted, had they not disbanded and then not been a part of this qualifier, could have demonstrated a similar conflict of interest between PPD and Evil Geniuses. So really, we've gone through a lot. What's the big deal? If a team couldn't beat Veggies, they clearly didn't deserve to be in regionals, right? Unfortunately, that's really the wrong question here. It doesn't matter that, Veggies isn't supposed to be a professional team. What matters is that they potentially upset brackets. It creates uncertainty in the process, and also that they can just forfeit in the end. Now, I think it's pretty clear they just wanted to have some fun. They didn't even expect, I guarantee they did not expect to be in this situation. It probably didn't affect anything, but Blitz is right. This situation really should not be repeated, and we might want to see some more restrictions placed on open qualifiers to make sure that the intent of the opens remains intact and that the point of the event is to find teams deserving and able to have a shot at a Valve event, not people who have already committed to working at an event for a qualifier they're playing in that they can't actually carry through. Because in the end, for these guys, it's their job to cover the qualifiers, not play in them. And while random stacks can enter for fun and see what happens, they don't know for certain that they are unable to participate in regionals. The caster stack is guaranteed to be unable to participate because of their nature as casters. Their competitive schedule is their work schedule. There doesn't need to be some clear injury or abuse for something to be unethical. Just because there's no official rule from Valve prohibiting these actions doesn't mean that they're really acceptable to continue. And as much entertainment and goodwill and all the great streams that the Veggie stacks provide, the reality is it is a conflict with the integrity and the purpose of the tournament. And no matter how much something is liked or enjoyed, it doesn't mean we shouldn't see it for what it is. Unethical and honestly, at this point, unacceptable.